Hi folks, Reeves Callaway here. We're going to go through a set of video instructions for the hood modifications for the Callaway Corvette. Basically, we're going to cut a hole in the hood, we're going to bond a surround ring to the outside, and then we're going to attach a trim ring to the underside to support the isolation pad. This is normally a procedure done only in our shops, and we're sharing it with you for doing a field install for the first time. We hope we've given you the best instructions so that you can build a perfect hood the first time through. We'd love your feedback. I hope you'll be able to watch the video several times before starting, and please let us know how it goes. Thanks. So we'll start with bringing the hood into the workshop, and we're going to disassemble the vent
and the liner,
and that's done like so.
With a couple of push pins.
A couple push pins. Bink. There we go.
Got 6 of them.
6 of those. And then
So T15 Torx.
T15 Torx. Looks like what, 3 fasteners?
It's 2 of them.
Oh, just 2.
Just 2.
Okay. Good.
This,
that little guy pops out.
you snap the front first, and then the back comes up.
Bingo. Very nice. A good thing to remember here is that you need to avoid bending or creasing the pad while it's around the shop. So let's take a look at the setup here. We've flipped the hood over, and we've got some points of reference that you should replicate. One is a strip parallel to each edge at about as shown. Second is an approximation of the center line with a wide masking tape. And the third is the points on the rear edge of the hood need to be protected with a little masking tape. So as you can see, we're not really interested in a particular number of inches. What we're interested in is dividing the hood in half at a forward point and at a rearward point. So the way we do it is we make a little offset mark on the left side and the right side on the strip of masking tape, and then we go from one mark to approximately the center, recording what number of inches that is, and then we just flip the tape around and do the same thing from the other side. And that will give you a difference of some small number, which you can easily split in half and come up with the perfect center line. The perfect line.
And that's the center line.
There. That wasn't so easy, was it? And now, the template. The template has small cutouts that allow you to verify the center line going through the cutouts. So a couple extra pieces for security, and now marking through the holes with a Sharpie.
Just make sure to keep the template flat. All right,
Bingo.
that's it.
So now template comes off. And a pretty good outline remains.
So now we got to outline it with tape, protect the painted surface that we're gonna cut out in the port.
Okay. So you're just going to tape to the outside of the line.
The outside of the line. That's why it's imperative when you got the template, make sure it's flat down. You get straight lines. Makes it a lot easier to tape.
So you just do all the straight sides first.
Yeah, all the straight sides, and then we use 1/8 inch tape, 1/4 inch tape to do the
radius.
It's a lot easier to manipulate around those radiuses.
Typical. Got it. What's the tool first, Manny? So,
Cut-off wheel.
cutoff wheel,
It's a 3 inch.
little resin reinforced 3-inch on the cutoff. Some people at this point would elect to put some more protection out here, but after your 3rd or 4th hundredth, it's all in how you hold your pen.
Yeah. So you try to cut as close as you can to the line. We're gonna take it up to the line with the angle grinder.
Aha. So, are you trying to remove the Sharpie marks?
Yeah, we are gonna remove the black mark completely,
Right.
and that's where the outside of the hole is.
Okay.
Note, back here it's gonna have a double skin. It's got the bottom part of
The interior.
so it's
skin.
gonna be a little bit harder to cut the back part compared to the side parts.
Good advice.
All right, So we got all the straight edges. Here it all depends what tools you want to use. You can use the cutoff grid to get around the corner. I like to use,
Sort of bridging the corner,
yeah,
but there's another way.
yeah, with a pencil grinder, we got a nice. Get on this side,
Yep.
it'll be a lot better. And you can see there's that double skin we were talking about.
Yes.
So it's either way.
Double skin. Pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm. So let me do the rest.
So a little tape applied to hold the piece up. Et voila.
And we got a hole.
So this is what we use for preparing the surface. It's a 120 grit power lock. Goes right on to a typical angle grinder, air tool, et voila. Also, handy to have probably a 19 millimeter, 3/4 inch sanding drum for doing the inside radius. Et voila.
Barrel sander next,
Barrel sander coming up.
and we're gonna get the radiuses. Let me get this hole from you.
Go ahead. Now that's our rough cutout.
Yeah.
Now we're going to take everything down to get rid of the black marks along the interior of our tape line. See if we can get that any better on the interior of the tape line here. Yeah, there we go. That's the marks that we're going to be removing next. Okay, man.
All right. 40, but it's a worn down 40.
Uh-huh. So this is a 3-inch
Mm-hmm.
angle grinder with the same kind of
So it
worn out 40 is
yeah,
good.
yeah, or even an 80. But
So there we have the precision hole. What's next, Manny?
fit this around. Let me go grab one. I got one printed with tape.
All right. So here we have the surround,
It's just tape for the protection.
right?
It's painted.
It's already painted, so we want to be careful. Tape it up to protect it.
All right.
All right.
So first thing is we got to find center for this thing.
Uh-huh.
We use I use the same template that we use for the car.
Mm-hmm.
So
Bingo.
we gotta kind of get it in the center.
Mm-hmm.
Then you mark your center. Flip it around. Of course, it's a flat paper over a contour part, so
Yeah.
same thing. Try to align it as good as we can here.
And mark the center.
And mark the center.
Perfect.
So we got centers on both sides now.
Yep.
The center lines coincide with the center lines on here.
And there we have it.
And here is where we check the fit. See how it's got a little bit more? So we might have to go in and here's where we start clamping, making sure that the opening.
Uh-huh. So chances are,
Because every surround is different.
right?
As far as, I mean, how long it's been sitting, where it got cured.
But we want the piece to register down in the hole.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. And from the feel of this probably needs to come down a little bit more. Well, just start clamping it. See what happens.
All right. So the real test comes as the clamps.
Quick grips
Little quick grip.
with some nice soft material in the front to protect the paint.
Yep. And quite a few of them.
Yeah, we're gonna use around 10 of them. Anywhere from 8 to 10, depending on how it sits.
All right. Just light enough to hold,
yeah,
right?
just to hold it.
I'm starting at the center.
Little opening. Radius is neat opening. A bit.
So can you see when there's a little interference?
Yes, yes. On I'll show you where on the. So the surround. So you got the trough for the adhesive,
Right.
and you got this little. It registers. This is what registers inside the line.
Sure.
So you need to get that past the line, inside the line, so that registers where the surround sits.
Got it.
So the way it sits right now on center line to center line, these two radiuses in the back
Mm-hmm.
and a little bit here need to come off still.
Okay.
As far as just with the grinder, and then we fit it back in.
With a little relief, you simply reclamp on the center line, and Manny can tell already that he gained
Yeah.
what he was looking for.
The radiuses, yep.
Yeah.
And then a little bit.
Very cool. So we are reclamped, and
We like the position that
we
it's
like
flat.
the position it's in.
Everything's
now-
flat.
Yeah, everything works well.
So from here,
So now we're going to take it off and take it out and
take all this tape off.
remove tape. All right, so we're doing tape coincident with the outside because the next step Or the last step in applying the adhesive, if there happens to be any squeeze out, this makes it super easy to get it off. So we'll replicate the radiuses with the 1/4 inch tape.
What this does too, it gives us an outline of where you're gonna sit the surround in anyway.
Yep.
Once we put the adhesive on.
Right. We have the perimeter done. So now we unclamp,
Unclamp.
remove, and we have a really good
Alright.
indication of where we need to bond to. So that's what the remaining flange is the bond flange.
This is 1/8 inch tape. We're gonna separate the side, the little border,
I'm going to separate,
so we can have
right.
a trough here. We're gonna actually put the line where we're gonna put the adhesive,
Mm-hmm.
where we're gonna scuff. So this 1/8 inch tape goes on the right on the inside of the tape that we just laid down.
So 1/8 inches, 3mm tape.
We go all the way around.
Gotcha. So we don't want any adhesive right out at the edge of the surround ring. So this will give us a good guideline, because the adhesive is designed to be in a bonding trough built in to the surround ring.
Because I am scuffing, I don't want to scuff more than what I have to.
I see.
So I do put an extra one.
Extra layer over the whole
Right,
thing.
right,
up,
right over the blue
right
tape.
over the blue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but that's just protection. So if it scuffs more than I need, it does. The tape will catch it.
Yep. Yep. Good idea. Voice of experience. Because next we're going to remove
The
the
exposed
paint on the inside of the tape line,
down to the carbon.
right down to the carbon, so we get a good bond. So now we're getting ready to take the paint down to the carbon. The tool is the 2-inch diameter. Does it help if it's worn out or if it's new?
No, depends what. I guess it depends. If you're using a 120, it'd rather be a new one. If you're using like an 80, semi-worn one.
Mm-hmm.
So it all depends how many layers of paint does this thing come with. Also,
Uh-huh.
if it's been fixed, if it's been repaired, I've had new hoods come in here with three layers of paint.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a 120.
Hold my hand over my face. He looks at me one day, he goes, hinders progress.
Hinders progress.
Because that big ass nose.
Yeah, yeah.
Okie dokie. Here we go. So, there we are with bonding area taken care of. Nicely cleaned down to the carbonium. Yeah. And ready
Yep.
for bonding?
Yep. Yep, pretty much.
All right, here we go. So we take the tape off, but only the protective
Yeah.
portion.
Yeah, we try to leave the original outline on there.
So we're going to go ahead and take the blue off as well. But we're going to leave the true outline.
You see what's gonna get covered. The original line.
Yep,
So just like that.
there we go.
Yep. What it is now is prep this, scuff the trough, just so that the adhesive can have something to grab onto.
Yep.
And that we can do with sandpaper. We can do. I like to do it with pencil grinder because it's faster.
Uh-huh.
So we're gonna do with that.
Final part of the prep, we want to remove that little piece that was still under there.
It's just so it doesn't get stuck underneath the surround once we bond it.
Bingo.
Just like that.
So what is the supply side of this?
This is
Danny?
DP 420 made by 3M.
Yep. Scotch weld, epoxy adhesive 420 with the applicator.
Yeah, make sure both sides come up. There we go.
Got flow from both sides.
Yep.
Put on the mixing nozzle. And we are about ready to shoot.
Need some test strips.
Yeah, good thing to get a feel for.
Also test strips, that way when you can find out if it's set tomorrow, you can come and check your test strips.
Sure.
Also.
Yep.
So here we're just acetone, a little bit of acetone,
Yep.
just to clean out the areas that we're gonna bond.
Mm-hmm. Acetone prep.
Just to get all the carbon dust off of it.
The schmutz.
Mm-hmm. Same thing with the surround, since we
Same thing with cleaning up the surround. Careful not to damage the paint.
just to
All right, here we go. Now, normally you would not see any squeeze out, right?
no, that's what you want, is you don't want to squeeze out.
Right.
Yeah, that's what the goal is, not to have any squeeze out.
So why did you change clamps just then?
No, it shifted back. When I clamped this one,
Mm-hmm.
the whole thing it kind of shifted back.
Shifted backwards.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it shot it back because of the.
Because of the taper?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's why these things barely had to go on. If put too much, it does put a strain on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's to me it's more of a safety as far as that. Make sure it's clamped all the way around. I've seen Pete use 7. And I guess it's just with me, it's preference, making sure that every part of it is bonded.
Mm-hmm.
But there it is.
Wow. And how long do we let that sit?
At working time, it says to let it sit for 4 hours and then you can start handling it, but we leave it for the whole 14.
Okay.
So tomorrow, actually I set it out in the sun, which helps it.
Yeah.
If need be, when I can put one in the morning, in the afternoon I can put the trimming in.
I see.
If I throw it outside with enough sun.
All right.
At 6-7 hours, I'm able to take the clamps off and put a trimming in.
Understood. Nice work, Vinny.
Thank you. Well, this is it right here.
Cool.
I just gotta check for, I don't know if you won't want that, but I get a flashlight, we check out for squeeze out, and we take the tape off.
Get a flashlight and check for squeeze out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is where you start checking to see if there's any squeeze out.
Yep.
You start removing tape also.
Uh-huh. Tape and inspect all at the same time.
Yeah, because here you can see if the tape's underneath, you can start pulling it off. You can able to release a clamp if tape's underneath, you can still release the clamp a little bit to get the tape off.
Got it.
But this is, we're just making sure there's no squeeze out.
So if there was any squeeze out, it would have happened by now.
Yeah, and it would be on the tape. So if it squeezes out on the end, that's where we go all the way around the perimeter
Got it.
to make sure that there's no squeeze out, and it's easier to clean off the tape
Sure.
off the site right now than on the paint itself.
Yep.
But yeah, we did it right. We shouldn't have any squeeze out, and the surround should be bonded. Because of the edges, that 1/8 inch tape that we put, the blue one, it's flat and flat. So if there's any adhesive in there, it's gonna squeeze it out because it's literally flat on flat.
Yeah.
So
So we're gonna put it in our special California sun oven
there you go.
out here.
Need to put it up here first. Take the stand out.
Uh-huh. Stands outside. Transport to special California sunshine. And let the solar activated
Let it
epoxy
bake.
let her bake. Nice work, Manny.
All right.
Ciao. Here we are after the first side clamps are removed. That's what the inside of the hood is going to look like with the surround ring bonded in place. So just as an advanced look, let's take a look at where the trim ring is going to go. And as you can see, it registers right onto the surround ring with a nice even gap all the way around. So just a note, if for some reason the tape has been removed from the surround ring, it's a good idea to retape it in advance of clamping the trim ring in place, because the clamps are going to have to
avoid leaving marks on the paint.
yeah, you get the picture. In preparation for bonding the trim ring, we like to scuff the paint away for about 1/2 inch around the outside of the surround ring. So we'll just tape this off to give you an indication of how it's going to go, but I think you probably get the point. We're going to use the same tool that we used to scuff the paint away from the other side.
It's got a bigger trough, so you got to scuff a little bit more in the front.
Right, gotcha. So we'll do the scuff, and then we'll take a look at the trim ring, and we can see that it has a nice textured finish for bonding already. All we do is clean that with a little bit of acetone and prep for the adhesive. Anything else, Manny?
Nope. Let's get to scuffing and fitting and bonding.
Okay. Nice mask. Alright, so nicely scuffed and prepped for adhesive bond. Very nice. All right. Now,
I like to use a sharp utility knife. You can use scissors. It's to your comfort.
mm-hmm.
If you're gonna use a sharp utility knife, make sure you use a wood, something behind it, and just dig into it. Voila.
Et voila. Now, what's your tip?
For this, now instead of using the paper template, you can keep this around and use it as another template.
Right. Much easier.
Much easier than working with the paper afterwards.
Perfect. Perfect.
All right.
Yeah. That's the danger. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
Okay.
All right. So here we go.
Fit the mat in. Careful not to crease it, not to bend it. Put back the push pin that it came with. And the extractor, the trim piece to the extractor, we call it. Just snap the back end first, then the front. Place back the that.
One of the things that we do before we bond is we put a little paint on the edge of the fiberglass.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're pretending to paint this so that we don't have to wait for the paint to dry.
You can tell the difference of what.
Right.
We're trying to cover up the cut from the fiberglass.
Exactly. Just trying to give it a dark edge. So in preparation for bonding, a little acetone wipe.
Try to stick to the exposed carbon. Acetone will start messing with the paint on the surround.
Right.
And the paint on the hood, backside of the hood.
Yep. Prepping the bond area on the surround. Same deal. A little acetone wipe.
One step I left out. Put tape to protect all the shiny surface.
Uh-huh. Okay, here we go.
So let's take a moment and add some tape to the inside edge where the clamp is going to be before we do any bonding.
So the adhesive used for this side is different than the top side. What's this called, Manny?
This is 8115.
8115.
Made by 3M.
8115 panel bonding adhesive. Good.
Put down a couple of test strips. Make sure that the adhesive is well mixed. You also can check on it for readiness if you need to work on it. Try to stay above the radius, the back end of the radius alongside the trough. this will flatten out once you clamp it down. You rather want to squeeze that out rather than into the hood. Okay.
So now we're ready for putting it in place?
Put it in place. So it's got the mat, so when we clamp it down, it's gonna push all that stuff down.
Got it. It's nice how that just registers right in there.
Oh yeah. Makes working with it a lot better.
So just enough pressure to get the gap to close?
Yeah, just enough pressure. In the front, you might not need a whole lot of pressure. Back here, it's got more of a cushion.
Yep.
Especially towards the middle, that you might have to put a little bit more.
Okay.
But from here, you kind of try to work it in as best as possible to align it to the sides and the back. It is.
You sure we got enough clamps?
Yeah.
Johnny?
Yeah. No, I'm if I can find them, I'll put them in.
No, I'm only kidding.
No, yeah. Sometimes they need more clamps. Sometimes I've seen Pete go at least as 8. It all depends on how everything's working together.
Got it. Nice job.
All right. And then we just set it outside and let the good old Southern California sun bake it for a while.
And then we're done.
And then we're done.
Wow.
So it's ready to go on the car just like that.
Cool.